So, what is the benefit of actually knowing how your trauma affects you? Hello, and welcome to today's insight. So, what I'm mainly going to talk about is what will be the benefit of you actually knowing how your trauma affects you. Because today I was at an event where we mainly talked about how a space affected us in regards to our trauma. Well, the byproduct of the trauma, like how it makes us feel. Does it make us tired? Does the sound affect us? Well, I know in my case, because my main issue was that I have a big TBI, a traumatic brain injury on my brain, which is equivalent to a bruise on my brain. Well, some of my senses, the main way that I get triggered is that my senses cannot necessarily handle all the stuff. Today we were evaluating a library, and at some point I was mainly talking about how the light affects me, how the noise affects me, and at some point I was literally overwhelmed because there were too many kids, too many things happening at the same time, too many people talking at the same time, too much stuff happening around me. And so that is what happens to me, and the reason why I am putting so much emphasis on improving the way that I deal with these things is because I want to be a mom. And as I don't know if you know this, but kids don't really care if you have issue with overwhelm or not. They just want to live their life. And so it is up to me to become ready for when I have kids. So I'm doing this work in now so that I don't have to deal with it later. Or if I do, I'll know what to do when the situation occurs. So now the thing is that I have a big bruise on my brain, and so how big it is will impact different areas of my reality. And it was interesting for me to hear other individuals who have a similar injury as mine, who also have a TBI, and a severe one at that, because they experience their TBI differently. Now, I get triggered by my senses. When there's too much happening, when there's too much noise, when there's too much light, I get overwhelmed, like I mentioned. Now, he was something different. For him, he experiences it differently. So it's really going to be up to you to figure out how you deal with these things. Because if you don't know how you deal with things like this, you will basically not be able to work with general public or to be able to do whatever you set out to do. Okay? So, is there something that you can work on to improve how you deal with your trauma? Ponder that.